everyone, and welcome to the Bougie Sports Podcast. I'm Yvette, fan of the eliminated Cleveland Browns. I know that sucks, but it is what it is. I honestly thought we were going to go to the Super Bowl. Anyways, I really did. Maybe next year. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Bougie Sports on YouTube and check out website at bougiesports.com. I am so excited for tonight. I have my friends in the house. Say what's up. We got Lana. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I am doing absolutely fabulous. Sporting the Tom Brady jersey. I tweeted for people to guess what I was wearing, and I said that he could be arguably the best of his position, and Tom Brady came out so quick. And speaking of Tom Brady, another reason why I wore this is because of my other friend here, Ryan, big Tom Brady fan. Ryan, hello.
I should have worn my Tampa one. I didn't know that you were going to be rocking the Patriots one. I could have worn my Tampa one. We could have matched.
I know. But the Patriots one's the classic one, don't you think?
Yeah, I got the red one, the throwback red one, but the Tampa one's pretty cool. I got the pewter one. It kind of looks like the color of AJ's shirt, whatever that is, like that gray. Yeah. So it's cool. I do like it.
AJ. Cash money, all cash money, AJ. Randy Moss. Every time I think of that, I think of you, AJ. What's up? Welcome back.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad to be here. I'm wearing my Darius Garland Cavs shirt, who I saw practice today, so that was cool, and can't wait for him to come back. But I'm happy to be here and ready to talk some sports.
Me too. I'm so happy for you guys to be here. What a day! All right, so let's just go right into it. Right, breaking news this morning. Right, so evidently the players obviously love this Josina Anderson. And she gets all of the tea because she found out this morning that 3 of the Browns coaches were let go. Who was it? Alex Van Pelt, but was it offensive coordinator, the running back coach, and the tight end coach, Stump Mitchell, and TJ something. Who's it? Hawkinson? No, that's a tight end. Who's the tight end coach? McCarthy.
TC McCarthy.
Okay, McCarthy. Let's just get right into it. AJ, what are your thoughts? What were your first thoughts when you heard it?
Well, I mean, I was surprised. I kind of went into the offseason after we lost in hilarious fashion. I kind of went into the offseason like, all right, let's run it back. I really did not expect any sort of changes just because I feel like we've been trying so long to get some sort of cohesive unit together to, you don't want to constantly be turning over with coaches and people like that. And because you want stability, you want guys to get along. You want there to be, some stability in your organization. I'm not saying I was upset. I was just more surprised. And I feel like there hasn't been a ton of information about why the change happened or where the change even came from. That's probably my biggest concern. And I even tweeted about it this morning when I heard the news. I'm more worried about where this change came from. If it came from the head coach, great. If it came from the general manager and the head coach, great. I'd be real worried if this came from above that, or even someone who's not even in the office, who's thousands of miles away, who's a baseball guy.
You mean the guy that suggested the head coach?
Listen, I'm not a deep attest hater. I'm not a hater of the guy. I don't really know what he does being the chief strategy officer of the Cleveland Browns. I mean, I could tell you that I'm the chief strategy officer of Bougie Sports.
You
okay.
are.
I mean, what do I do though? I don't know.
You better get these numbers up.
I know, but I guess my thing is, if it came from the head coach and maybe even the GM, and that was a thing that they came to together, all right. If it came above that, I just that kind of thing worries me. That makes me feel like you aren't making steps forward. You're only taking steps back to being what people know you as, is having a meddling owner or having guys voices in there that maybe shouldn't be in there, or I don't know. I just worry about power struggle and things like that. But ultimately, I'm just hoping whoever they bring in next it works. I guess I don't know. Ryan.
Ryan?
I would hope that if Jimmy Haslam is mad, he wouldn't go, I'll show you. I'm going to fire your running back coach and the tight end coach. That just doesn't really seem like the stick it to the team type move. So
I'm not saying he said that.
That's what you would imply, though, because he would have to just make a rash decision.
I think it would be, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think it was like there needs to be some change around here. And you guys need to decide what change that is. Maybe some heat on the GM and the coach. That's more what I mean. Not fire the running back coach and the OC.
Well, you wouldn't have fired the offense. You would have fired people off the defense if you were trying to send a message, because that was the side of the ball that kind of really put us a hole in the playoffs. This isn't anything but growth. I feel like the Browns are trying to expand their offense. They know they can't keep running this under center. What the hell's that? The stuff they've been doing for a while now. And yeah, it works with Joe Flacco. He can do play fakes and he can do all that. But we don't use a lot of newer concepts in our offense. And I think with Van Pelt and those guys, the whole idea is we're just trying to grow the offense. We're going to bring in new voices, because as good as Stefanski is with certain aspects of the offense, maybe he needs some help with shotgun. Maybe he needs some help with motion. Here's why I love it, in a way. I don't look at it as a bad organization or same old Browns. This is the progressive Browns. This is the Browns that aren't going to sit there and just go, oh, well, it worked for Joe Flacco, so there's no reason to change anything. It's like, no, it won't. So the fact that we now have people in charge that recognize what they can and can't do, it's not the my way or the highway that we've seen before that gets coaches fired. It's we need to adapt our offense so this coming season, when hopefully Watson is healthy, we have something that is going to work for everybody. It could be a blend of a shotgun offense with under center. We've seen Nick Chubb run from the shotgun. I like the idea of having a more shotgun-driven offense with Watson. I don't like when his back's to the defense. You can do that with Joe Flacco because that's his game. That's what he's done, that West Coast Kubiak offense for 100 years because he's 100 years old. So we need to kind of like modernize our offense to make it better for DTR, better for Watson, because they're shotgun players. So if this is the quarterbacks we're going to have, then we got to adapt the offense. So I don't know why everybody went just all over the map with this. I'm like, guys, they're just trying to improve the offense. And those guys, they got one style, and the Browns want to have a different style. So,
well, I mean, with all their people went crazy because we had a great season. So it's shocking.
Don't you want to have a better season?
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that's why. But also, it doesn't make sense. Like,
people also just lose their minds. People lose their minds for everything. It's not even just about it does not matter what change happens. The Browns could announce tomorrow that they are going away from 7-Up as one of their big sponsors, and they have moved to Sprite. And all of a sudden, Browns Twitter
baby. Let's go.
They are irate. They're irate on Twitter.
Lose
their mind, and it does not matter what the news is. It's going to and listen, Twitter is a fake place. I hate to break it to people, but it is a fake imaginary place. It's a free app for now, website that it's a place for people to express themselves. But so for people feel the need to overly express themselves, and it gets to a point where it's like, guys, I questioned these firings today myself, but I don't think the organization took steps back. I just don't want them to take taking a step back when they do things like this. Because I'm old fashioned. I kind of like, status quo type of thing. I like, hey, we need to improve with guys that we have. Hey, these guys know our system. They know our offense. Stump Mitchell. I mean, that was the one that even confused me more. Mm-hmm. Was the run game really that
2 yards to carry for like 10 weeks?
With an offensive line that was held together by bubble gum and duct tape. I mean,
it's like we don't have Nick Chubb. We don't have Nick Chubb. We can't do anything. I'm like, well, what's the coach? Isn't he supposed to get guys to be better? I don't know. I can't imagine like anybody else is dissecting when they lose their running backs coach or tight ends coach. And I get it. They were well liked, and there's things out there. They say some players aren't happy. Well, yeah, they're all together and this and that, but if the Browns want to try to run a different style offense that they're not familiar with, you got to go outside of the box. It's not. Would you be more upset if we went into this season with the same offense and it was figured out, because it's the NFL and we know offenses only work for so long before the league catches up, and we're getting stuffed every game and Watson looks terrible, and then you're yelling about firing Stefanski again? So I would rather them try something now, because they obviously thought about this like, okay, we need to change this. Yeah, obviously the defense, we got to do something there. We got to make sure we can get our, problems worked out there. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Deshaun Watson and Stefanski that's going to be the ones that they're going to build this around for a long time, hopefully, unless it, can always change.
My fear is, and this is a conversation I refuse to have until we got to the offseason, which is where we're at now. I worry about what's the answer if Watson doesn't, if he doesn't have it, because my thing is it's an easy
Phillip
thing
Rivers,
to say.
Baby. Or dig up Phillip Rivers next.
It's an easy thing to say. It's an easy thing to say. Well, it's the coach. Well, that coach won with Joe Flacco and DTR. Yeah, I mean, that coach won with Joe Flacco and DTR, and he won 2 games with PJ Walker. He almost beat the Seahawks, almost won 3 games with PJ Walker. So you can't tell me that it's the coach. And that's kind of where my fear goes. I'm very worried if Watson doesn't have it. Not necessarily that the fan base will blame Stefanski, but the organization.
Oh, they will. They're already blaming him. But I will say, I heard something very interesting on the radio the other day. I can't remember. It was on The Fan, I think. And I can't remember who said it, so sorry I can't give credit to it. But they said, and I didn't realize this, that Deshaun Watson has not played a full season in 4 years. And I don't know why that didn't hit me until he said it out loud.
Yeah, it's not good.
And he's like, he better come out like the elite quarterback that he's supposed to be this next year, right? But you're right. It will always be Kevin. It won't be Deshaun. It won't be they're always going to go after him. But I think
Kevin had something to do with the firings of the coaches. Yes,
I do. I think if you notice last year, as soon as the season was over, it was like goodbye Joe Woods. Then, we had Bubba come in and we had Jim Schwartz come in. So it was like he attacked the defense and the special teams last year, right? So this year it makes perfect sense to then go, okay, now this is where we need to shake things up a bit. He's a shake it up guy. I mean, he's not afraid to make the changes that he feels.
Unless it was Joe Woods.
Yeah, Joe Woods.
Yeah, Joe Woods got a year too long.
That's for sure.
He did.
He'll let you stick. Stump Mitchell's been here since 2000.
I know.
2000, that'd be a record.
Yeah, right. Stump Mitchell has survived every. He has survived every coaching. Somehow, Stump Mitchell survived every single coaching.
He has.
Which leads to AJ's point is of consistency, and that works for other teams in the leagues. Like, I don't know, the Ravens, don't they have pretty much consistency?
We didn't overhaul anything, though. These are just
three coaches.
And look at the Patriots. The Patriots lost guys all the time, and they still won Super Bowls. I mean, you had Matt Patricia go away. You had not Mike McDaniel. Josh McDaniels go. Yeah, he went away. They lost guys constantly, and then they still, won Super Bowls. Granted, that was, old number 12 there.
Don't forget, too, the Ravens, they switched out their coordinator. They had, who was the old OC? Roman, I think, was the coordinator for Baltimore for a while. They ended up bringing Todd Monken in, our old dude. And now he's got Lamar at an MVP level. So it's like you just can't settle. So we're not settling.
Right.
I hear people are looking at Todd for a head coach role. I think it's Todd they're looking at for head coach role. People are saying he's a good candidate.
Everything will be designed around Watson's abilities. This is what you guys were saying a little bit. He's not a West Coast offense quarterback.
Good comment, Timothy. Money.
Yep.
It's all going to come down to old number 4. That's what you're all.
Yeah. This ain't going to happen again. Like, if you think we're going to roll out with 4 quarterbacks next year and do this again.
Another thing, 4 quarterbacks and AVP
5
fired.
Now, is he really fired? Because I've heard like 9 different things today. He's fired. He's not. Is he? Because I haven't checked lately.
No, I think he's
Well,
gone.
He
Let's
is
talk about
gone.
The
who's
Browns
not
haven't
fired.
even officially said anything.
No,
I mean, the Browns
I
haven't even
know.
officially said it.
Could be contractual stuff. Because here's the other thing we don't know is whether or not people's contracts were up and they were just like,
True.
hey, we're not going to sign you, or if they had time left. So,
I don't
and
know.
again, I
There's
don't think it's
there's
not that
fire,
everybody.
and it seemed shady, and it seemed like it was like something gossipy that went down. It didn't seem like if that was the case, and it would have just came out like that. Why tweet? Why say we're so mad about it? Why have to be so weird about it like they do for everything? They said that they fired them the night before, and they wanted to keep it hush hush for as long as they can because they knew that people would be upset. That's what I heard. But that's another reason. Like, why? I don't know. I think. But who knows? Like, if it's for the better, then we're for it, right?
Right.
I want to move on because we have so much to talk about.
Ed with the worst comment of all time. Congratulations.
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
this is, yeah, I mean,
Let's
Yeah,
read
this
it.
Poison that is the Browns
Tell me-
fan base.
tell me you don't know anything about football without telling me you don't know anything about football, Ed. I mean, come on, dude. 5 quarterbacks this year. I mean,
It doesn't matter. Ed's got,
Go ahead.
got his mind made up. No
Yeah,
no
you're
point
not
arguing with Ed.
Let's not like we don't have to like rehash too much of the loss, but we had a terrible loss. Let's talk about the whole AFC wildcard playoff weekend. We'll just dive in right with the first game, heartbreaking game. The Browns, I don't know. I expected them to win. Ryan, we'll start with you. What were your first thoughts?
Well, you can ask AJ. A few days before the game, I sent him we use Voxer because it's 2003 or whatever that acronym is. And he's like, how do you feel? And I tried to say I was not feeling great without necessarily saying it, because I was like, we got some problems, and if they show up in the playoffs, we're not going to be around very long. And they showed up. And unfortunately, you can beat, teams like Chicago and Jacksonville, which basically quit or could no longer play NFL football, or the Jets or the Texans with Case Keenum. But if you're going to show up and you're going to be on the road again and have an above average quarterback just slice and dice you because you cannot create pressure for whatever reason, then you're going to got problems. And then it led to problems in the secondary. And even through all of that, in the beginning of the third quarter, the defense got a stop. We're only down 10. That's not really that much. And it looked like we got the ball down to the 33 after that stop, and all of a sudden you started feeling good. I did. I was like, all right, we've come back. This is what we do. And Joe Flacco had other plans. And not only did he have plans, he had 2 plans. Because he left no doubt.
He flacked out.
He did. And then all those things that you got away with, because if you Flacco's throwing for 360 yards, and maybe you didn't have to throw for 360 if you didn't always give the other team 14, So,
Hey, at least we know what the cure is for Flacco fever.
yeah, interceptions.
Exactly. I was gonna say 6 picks.
Yeah, 6 will cure you
Yeah.
real quick.
That'll
Those will get ya.
cure it.
Well, that was it. Like, I didn't think it was that was it. Honestly, I don't think it was something that was this or that, or a failure of this and that. It's just your 2 biggest poor habits showed up, and you didn't get away with it this time because the Texans are good. They're not a joke. They deserve to be where they're at. They have an elite quarterback, and your kryptonite, you know what it was? It was the same feeling I had when the Cavs drew the Knicks in the playoffs last year. And I'm like,
I didn't do like it just felt like
yeah, it's like, because in theory you should win, you're probably better, and then there's just certain teams that do. That's why I was so upset. Jacksonville, you are no good at your football, none. Like, all they had to do was win that game, and we're in the second round because we would have beat Jacksonville.
they had one
that
job.
team was 9-3. That team was 9-3 at one point, if you can believe it.
Yeah.
Holy moly. AJ, what about you? Like, any takes on that?
Oh, yeah.
We went out in Browns fashion, I think.
Oh, hilarious fashion. I mean, kind of like the Cowboys. Just
Thank
so
God
I
for them, by the way.
Thank God.
Right?
But
Them and the Eagles. Thanks.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Got us off scot-free, but
Yeah, we didn't even play anymore. Thank God.
I'll say, my gut knows nothing clearly because I went to the Bears game and I went into that game going, I don't think we're going to win this game. I just had a bad feeling about it. And then we ended up winning. And then you go into the Texans game, the playoff game, and I went in a little too confident. I said, I don't see any reason why they can't win this game. They beat this team once before. Granted, I get it was Case Keenum, but I just felt that I thought that they were going to become better prepared. I don't even know if they necessarily weren't prepared. I just think it was a bad day at the office for the team. And I mean, there are certain guys I honestly wouldn't mind not seeing them in a Browns uniform next year. One of them is Greg Newsome.
Poor Greg. You had a bad day.
I can't, Ryan. I can't with Greg Newsome. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's overrated. Very overrated. Actually.
No, you did not
Yes.
just say.
I've been saying it. Anytime Greg Newsome looked the way he did when Denzel Ward's not on the field, just an absolute trash can. And I mean, you saw things. You saw things happen with this team that happened when Joe Woods was around, like miscommunications in the secondary. Myles Garrett's not getting home. That whole defensive line just gave him. He only needed 2 seconds, and there was they were leaving guys wide open, and it just. Congratulations, JOK. Probably became my new favorite player this year because he lived in the backfield. Absolutely phenomenal player this year. I really hope they're able to find a way to pay him money because he needs to be on this team.
Will you take something other than money, please?
Yeah,
We're out of money.
Yeah, we're out of money. I could
got these Guardian season tickets.
And
Right
Deshaun
behind us.
Watson.
They just put cushions on seats, I heard. If you want to go there.
Things in right
But,
field are finally gone. It's beautiful.
just awful. I mean, just all around. And then Joe Flacco, I really thought because everyone thought, oh, will Flacco turn into a pumpkin again? I said, I think he's too old to turn into a pumpkin. I think he's too experienced. I don't think he could turn into like Jake Browning or Mason Rudolph or one of these guys. I think he's, or what's his name, Josh Dobbs. Like, he'll be fine. Nope, that wasn't the case. Because as soon as Joe was like, oh, the defense can't do their job today, I guess it's up to me. And because I truly believe the defense bailed out old Joe quite often, honestly. I mean, there were times this defense in the season was so elite that they were bailing out PJ Walker, bailing out DTR with how well they were playing. And this was just a day where they weren't playing their hottest. And unfortunately, you didn't have your star quarterback out there. So you needed your quarterback that you did have out there to do some work. And, he throws back-to-back pick sixes, and now you're out of the playoffs. So just a bad day all around. Not good.
Well, I should have made all those Flacco memes, huh?
I was just gonna say, like,
And
I
the
knew it. I
songs.
knew this was gonna happen when
All
they
the songs.
overdid it. They Flaccoed. When he got over Flacco, I was like, I'm not buying any like merch because I'm like,
No, I didn't buy a thing.
I almost
people
wonder
have
what
to
people
bring
were
down when they're
thinking,
so
but
good.
I get it.
I'm
I'm happy
almost
for it. We're
wonder-
happy. Let's keep it all positive. AJ, you mentioned something that JOK was your MVP of the season. Lana, who is your MVP of the Browns? Let's talk about the Browns first. The Browns this season.
Well, even though you guys probably, based on some of the things you just said, probably aren't going to agree with me, but Joe Flacco. I mean, I think, he came in and did what he did. Did he have an interception freaking every game?
Or
Yeah.
two. Sometimes three.
Him and Dustin Hopkins, I think. Dustin Hopkins saved our ass more times than I can count. So between the two of them, I think they're tied.
Ryan, from the Browns only, MVP.
MVP for the whole year or the what?
This season, yeah. Whole
Season?
year season, yeah.
Jeez. Probably Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the defensive player of the year a candidate for the year. So I do feel like if we didn't have him, it really would have fell apart.
Yeah.
Like that would have been it.
There was a time when he had that shoulder injury where I can't remember which game it was. Might have been the Rams game where it was clearly he was not healthy. and the defense couldn't do much. And
No, he's
it
not
was,
there.
It was very, forget about it. Yeah, it's like the Steelers with T.J. Watt. I mean, they're 1-11 when he doesn't play, and they rely on him heavily on the defense. And I think any good team. I mean, you got Aaron Donald. You have guys, even Max Crosby to a certain extent with the Raiders. There are guys that you just need on your defense if you're going to win, and Myles Garrett's ours.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Let's move on to another game in the wild card.
The Steelers, they lost. In case you didn't hear,
we can
lost.
talk about the Steelers. That's another reason why I wore this jersey, because one person who knows about kicking the Steelers' ass is my man, right? Am I lying? No. He whipped the Steelers' ass, and so did Josh Allen, apparently. Thoughts? I mean, we don't really have to talk about this one. This one's such an easy one, right? Did anyone really think the Steelers are going to win? Let's just move on to the next one. Let's just move on.
I did only because we're not allowed to be happy. That was it.
That's
There was
true.
not allowed to be
That's
exactly.
true.
Yeah.
And they came back there for a minute, and they tried.
It got scary.
Oh my God. I was prepared for them to win too, to be honest, because for that simple reason, just because they always win, it doesn't mean they're better. They just always win.
My perfect weekend would have been I'm sorry, this is an unpopular opinion. I know Ryan agrees with me. But my perfect weekend would have been the Lions losing, the Steelers losing, and the Bucks losing. I mean, if we're going to be honest. So that would have been my perfect go-to. Mainly the Steelers. I needed the Steelers could not be in the playoffs longer than my team because they were frauds, big time. I don't even know if they were frauds. They just weren't a good football team. I don't know how they somehow got 10 wins. You know how they got 10 wins? Their coach, who they want to fire. But regardless,
I know
10 wins in the playoffs with Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky. So, God,
they always come out winning.
Always. That's why I did for a minute think, when it got close, I'm like, they're going to freaking pull this off. I just know it.
I thought they were.
Yep.
What did you guys think about Jordan Love's performance? I was happy to see it. And you know what made me more happy? What makes me really happy is it sticks it to Aaron Rodgers, because it's like he did better than Aaron Rodgers ever did. And I freaking hate Aaron Rodgers. So anyways.
True.
All roads lead to hating Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yes.
Not a fan of the pseudo intellectual that is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But real quick, I read Ed's follow-up as to about the play calling.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So I guess the point was not to fire Stefanski, but see, here's the problem, Ed. When you come with
I
hot
knew what
words,
you meant, Ed.
Yeah. It's just like you know what I mean? Like, you don't got to be so hot with it, because then you get hot answers back. So I'll just tell you why unless his job's on the line or Crazy Haslam says you have to. Here's why you don't have Stefanski give up play calling. Because what happens, we just talked about it, when a coordinator succeeds on a good team? They leave. They're up for head coaching jobs, right? So here's what you want, Ed. We want Stefanski to learn how to call games for Watson, because he'll be here and you don't lose your OC. This idea that the Browns are doing is probably that. It's probably like Stefanski, as anybody who has an open mind about themselves can go. And we see this a lot with coaches where they won't open their mind to anything else. And I did this since the 60s and dust and dirt. And it's like, and you're fired with your dust and dirt. So it's like, it's like Greg Williams stuff or whatever. And you want Stefanski to learn how to run an offense and call plays and design an offense for Watson. And you should be ecstatic that he's bringing people in to help him do that. Because for years to come, Stefanski has to call plays for him. You can't cycle in a play caller every year or two just because you don't want to see Kevin Stefanski. What has happened to me? Kevin Stefanski. They used to pay me to do this on the radio, those dumb. So that's why you just want them to learn how to do it. That's why I get irritated when I hear the play calling thing, because to me, it's like you're not looking at it big picture. You got to look at this like this has got to be the guy that's tethered to Watson, and he's got to be the guy that does it. Because if we're relying on new OCs every year or two to relearn their style of play and this and that and how they call plays, no good. So we got to just let Kevin learn how to call the game the right way with the right offense for Watson. That's my.
What you're saying is free your mind and the rest will follow.
Yes.
Get this big in
absolutely.
90s
Great song, by the way.
to EIC over there at Incomas. He understands 90s R&B. So
He does. And he says
I'm going to see
now you
Madonna in
guys
a
are
couple
friends.
weeks.
we love. Also, what were we talking about before Kevin's
The
fans?
Steelers lost.
Oh yeah, yay!
Yeah.
Yay to
In
the Steelers
Vogue.
losing. The Steelers lost. The Cowboys lost. The Kansas City Chiefs did not lose. I did not think they were going to lose.
They were
I kind of,
Miami.
but
They're going to go back. They're going to go back to the
Miami?
Super Bowl. I really
Yeah.
think that.
Of course
I
they
think-
are.
I think the Chiefs are. Chiefs are in playoff mode. I mean, unless Kadarius Toney has anything to say about it, I think that that team's going back to the Super
Oh
Bowl.
man, I kind of
Um,
like Buffalo. I think Buffalo, they kind of look like they've been winning.
Josh Allen. I see the thing about Josh Allen though is at any certain point he could cost you.
Blackout.
And what's that? Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think it could happen. And I don't know about Baltimore, to be completely honest, because Baltimore has a tendency that they
has something for them. I bet Texas has something. The Texans have something for them.
I think Baltimore's going to win, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout in any way. Because the Ravens, they are a good team, but they have they'll play a team like the Steelers. I know, granted, it's AFC North and things get crazy when we play each other, but they'll lose that game. They lost to the Steelers this year. What was it? Some weird score like 13-6 or something crazy like that. And so I don't know. Listen. Right now, Baker Mayfield, at this very moment, just because of scheduling, Baker Mayfield has more playoff wins than Lamar Jackson. So Lamar Jackson tends to be different in the playoffs for some reason.
I like the Texans. I think the Texans are going to beat them.
I'm glad you
for betting
brought up
purposes.
Baker
For betting purposes, I'd have to see the line, but I do think Baltimore's going to win. I just don't know by how much.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about Baker Mayfield and the Eagles.
Do you
I
see
can't
that?
read what's going on, so I don't even know.
Probably
what's
would
going on.
want a more
the
expensive
comments
ring.
and see what happened.
Yeah, if
Kansas
Kansas City wins the Super Bowl, does Kelsey use that ring to propose to Taylor?
Oh my God! I had
KK.
a dream that Taylor Swift got pregnant by Travis.
Oh my God.
You heard it here first on Bougie Sports. I did. I had a dream. I was like, Taylor Swift is gonna have his baby. And she's right around that time where she wants to have a baby. He totally wants to give her a baby. You could just tell. You know what I mean?
I can tell he wants to give her a baby.
Our dreams are really different.
Would you
Mine
would you not want Taylor Swift to be your baby mama? I mean, come on.
No, I mean, yeah, but
Think about it.
yeah.
I mean, if you had to, I mean, that
Wife
would
have a baby? Can't we?
I just feel like, oh my God, we cannot talk about Taylor Swift because that's like,
Oh yeah, that's poison.
That's like really
That's
putting
football
out
poison.
Yoko Ono of things, you know.
Right.
I want to talk really briefly about Baker Mayfield. It's a big hot topic. I asked a couple of questions. It's a hot topic. I don't know why. I just don't understand what the obsession is with Baker Mayfield. I want us all quickly to say our thoughts on it. I've said a million times, I love Baker Mayfield. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. That's all I have to say. Lana?
I am excited for Baker Mayfield too. I just think it's people, as soon as it came out, I don't know if you all saw this side-by-side meme, and it was Baker and it was Deshaun Watson, and all it said was, "We look stupid." What?
Yeah.
That's what people think.
So
Some.
here's the thing. Here's how I look at it. And I was a big Baker guy, and I am happy for him and what's going on in Tampa. Here's the thing. First of all, the Bucs finished 9-8 in a very sorry NFC South. Okay, 9-8 in the AFC North gets you not in the playoffs. All right.
Right.
And can Baker Mayfield win games? Absolutely. Can he win playoff games? Absolutely. Can Baker Mayfield win a Super Bowl? Probably not. And I still, to this day, stand by the organization, looking at that situation and saying, look, we have Joe Burrow, we have Lamar Jackson, we have Josh Allen, we have Patrick Mahomes. At the time, the Chargers looked hot with Justin Herbert, and that whole thing went to hell. But at the time, the organization said, look at all of these AFC North quarterbacks. At the time, Russell Wilson had also moved to the Broncos. People were looking that move as, oh, wow, look at the Broncos. Now they have Russell Wilson. He's no longer in the NFC. The Browns said, we feel like this guy can help us win games, but this guy's never going to take us to the point to where we need to go. And so they went out and said, our best option is to go get Deshaun Watson. Is he a scumbag? Probably. But was he the best quarterback available at the time for the Browns to go get? Yes, he was. And to this day, I stand by the organization doing that. And could Baker Mayfield beat Detroit next week and go to the NFC Championship game? He could. Do I think it's going to happen? No, absolutely not. So I'm happy for him. It'd be cool to see him win, I guess, for Tampa Bay. I'm just telling you right now, even if he does somehow win with Tampa Bay, it was never going to happen here. It just wasn't. And I think the organization did the right thing. I really do.
I agree.
Ryan.
I mean, he played 4 years here. 2 out of the 4 weren't very good. I mean, the second half of 2020 was good. The rookie year was good. 2019 wasn't any good.
Sorry.
Patrick, what are you doing here?
I didn't mean to play that while you were talking. My bad. Go ahead.
She's playing you off, Ryan, like the Oscars.
I know.
Playing the music out.
It just, there was problems behind the scenes. They didn't really like each other anymore. People really just eliminate the human element out of sports too easily and just make it so black and white when it's not. It's not like it's a video game or a fantasy team, and I know that that's what people do now, so they just assume that's real life. Like, that's how teams operate. They just click buttons and send players around. But it's like, everybody likes to put out of their head that he asked for a trade as soon as he found out we talked to Watson. Not any explanation. Just put out some goodbye speech or whatever and was like, I want to trade. It's like, okay, this is a guy that decided the last game of the year he didn't want to play. He wanted to play all year, but all of a sudden I played in this game, which made his teammates not like him that much, or reportedly.
This is the same guy who, after he beat the Lions, because he didn't play well, he decided he wasn't going to talk to the media and throw himself a pity party.
Yeah. His maturity level wasn't...
Unleash the beast. That's not what it said. Do you guys remember the t-shirts that he made? Sorry.
Yeah.
You guys, that's the past. Let's not go in the past.
Let's not forget. Let's also not forget him shaving his face 3 times during a game.
Yeah, it's like, it's just such a weird... It's like he don't play here anymore, and 2 other teams cut him in the meantime. So it's like... Am I happy that he's in Tampa? Sure. It's like me being happy for Kevin Love in Miami. Like, he don't play here anymore. We made our choice. And good. He's playing good in Tampa Bay. That situation is better for him. The Browns and Baker, the time ran out. Okay? They're not going to pay a guy $40 million a year, $35 million a year that they're not settled on. And then 2 other teams had an opportunity to maybe give him money, especially with Stafford getting up there in age. He could have still been in LA. Nope. So he, wins a quarterback battle in Tampa against, I don't know, somebody. And he had a nice year. He played good. But the fact that every time you open, even Cleveland news stations, man, their engagement must be worse than me trying to tweet. Because every day I turn on, there's a picture of Baker and there's a picture. Did we make a mistake? Are you happy Baker won? You don't play here. Do you show up where your ex-girlfriend or whoever is at? And what do you, it's almost like we're the weirdos now. He's in Tampa having a good time winning games. Let him go win games. You don't got to sit here and be like, we screwed up. We were 11-6. If we were in their division, we would have been 14-3. It's like, man, it's who's more annoying, the Baker Bros or Watson? I don't know.
It never ends. It never
Baker,
ends.
I think Baker Bros.
Probably the Baker Bros. I'll go with Baker Bros.
I'm going to go with Baker.
You guys want to know who else is really annoying? Pat Mahomes' voice. And I like the other night, I wanted to name this segment things I thought was funny when I was high, but might not be funny today. Because you know how sometimes you think things are funny when you're high, but might not be funny today. But I didn't have the time to do it because I was high and I'm just joking.
Oh my
God. Anyways, I cannot stand Pat. It's legal and it comes from the earth.
That's true.
Pat Mahomes' voice.
Make a lot of sense.
I just thought this was funny. So this is things I thought was funny. This is my first one. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Stop. Wait, hold on. Go back. No,
Nothing's going to appear we should. Oh, my word.
Let's
What
start
the hell's
from-
happening
What
today?
is that? What are you?
Wait.
better be careful.
Wait. You guys, let's start over. Okay. You guys, this is called things I thought was funny. Okay, hold on.
Hey now.
Hold on, Pat Mahomes. Hold on, Pat Mahomes.
Now, you're a rock star. Get your game on. Go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on. Get paid. All that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break.
Okay, let's pause it. All right, I thought this was so funny. And I actually tweeted it, how easy it is to run through the Eagles offenders. And it's the little Cheeto in the door hatch. Well, it's funny because like someone had to put the Cheeto there to take the picture. Like, why would you put a Cheeto there to take the picture? I thought that was funny, and it's true. Let's see what's next. Right. Okay, pause. All right, I thought this was hilarious because I got both of these notifications in a row. Let's read the first one. You say some of the most funny things. You are the best looking girl in Youngstown, but could be in the whole state. You have fierce hope, young lady. Aw.
That's
That was
lovely.
nice.
Next comment, pause. You stupid. Wait! Gah! Hold on. Let's get back to this pause. Okay, and then pause it. Is it pause?
Oh, this is lovely.
Okay, here we go. You stupid fucking cunt. If your cans weren't out in your videos, no one would care about you. The Browns lost and you immediately become a Lions fan. You're dead to this fan base. I'll make sure your website and socials are hacked and held for ransom.
Oh, I know who that
That
is.
was hilarious to get one right after the other.
Listen, I had a few
All
drinks
talent.
and I got a little out of control with my comments. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I love it. I thought it
You know
was
what?
great.
I'm actually I'm rather impressed with the grammar and punctuation. Usually, when people are talking like this on the internet, it doesn't come with this level of
That's true.
I mean, yeah,
He did well.
you did well.
Okay.
Nice.
Also, really quick, I just caught this for the first time. So funny. You guys watch it?
No, I've
yeah.
never seen this.
Yeah, my
I just thought it
siblings are
was
obsessed
funny.
with this show.
Really?
Yes.
What is
yeah.
it?
I think you
So basically, this is a guy who I'm not sure the full story of it. I think he was a writer for SNL, and he doesn't work for SNL anymore. And he basically took all the skits that he wanted to put on SNL and made his own show and sold it to Netflix. And so
Wow.
now it's just basically a comedy skit show that he does of all the
Ed
skits he wanted. Yeah, all the skits he wanted to show on. It's real. Go into it like, oh, this is something dumb I can watch when I'm high or I'm drinking or something like that. Like, it's not something that's like, oh, I need to sit down and make sure I'm paying attention to this. It's very just
Yeah.
stupid skit stuff.
Right.
That's stuff you'd see on SNL, honestly. So it's people like it. It wasn't really for me. My siblings love it.
Absolutely hilarious. I should have already had this. I just thought it was so funny. So yeah. Let's talk. All right. Let me see if I can pause this time. Let's talk a little bit about the Cavs. Let's move on. Let's just talk about how hot this guy is, first of all, at playing basketball.
Bruce.
Struce. Cavs are up like 25 right now.
Oh, they are.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, what are your guys' thoughts on the Cavs this season? I know you're big fans, Ryan, AJ. You see a lot. I know we had some injuries, but they're doing really well. Oh, there's the hottie.
Shooting Sam.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. These are from
Who is-
these. Okay, let's see.
I'm more upset that
Isn't
this kid wasn't getting minutes like in the beginning of the season. I was like, I cannot believe that this guy's not on the floor. We need shooting, and here he is, and he's watching. It took this many injuries to get him on the floor.
Here, I'm down here on the floor, and we're going to have myself a mascot.
Oh,
These are some
yes,
Wow.
you bet. You went
That's
to the
not too
game.
bad.
Yeah. Look how long my arms are. Yeah. And that was really fun. It's the first time that I have not seen Donovan Mitchell play. So that was really exciting. And I had a great time. It made me really into the Cavs. And I know that they're on tonight. And I just want to know what you guys think about this young team and Donovan Mitchell's future in Cleveland.
Well, they
Ryan,
better.
you
They're going to try to re-sign him, I would assume. I know that everybody wants to trade him, but typically, if you want to stay competitive, you don't trade your best player, which is what he is. So if anything, they're probably going to keep trying to extend him, keep him here. We know that they're probably still trying to find an actual three that can play a little defense and shoot a basketball. But all in all, you're back in the 4th seed where you're at. Much like the Browns, because for some reason the Cavs and Browns sort of like to mirror each other a little bit with how their seasons are going. So even with 2 of your starters out who are main pieces, it shows you we do have depth, even if I get frustrated with having guys on the floor that can't score. But that's just my personal hell. That doesn't make me right. I just like to complain sometimes. But all in all, I mean, man, you're in the 4th spot. The East is highly competitive. I know that Siakam just went to Indiana, which, man, that's a good move for them. We'll see if we do anything, but I can't be upset at the Cavs. They're doing just fine.
They're definitely playing with they have expectations, no doubt. Like Ryan was saying, similar to the Browns, even with injuries, they're still fighting and battling. And because of that, at the beginning of the year, there was, for some reason, after only 10 games, the Cavs fan base is very similar to the Browns fan base because, it's the same people just wearing different jerseys and uniform, different apparel.
Put on a different hat.
After 10, put on a different hat, and they go, we should fire JB Bickerstaff. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then
You think they just copy and paste the coach's name into the same tweet?
Yes.
I think they might, honestly. Yeah. I can't
Who am I
wait till
mad
we're
at
trying
today?
to
What coach do I hate today?
You guys mentioned something I have to talk about. You
Who
said
the Guardians
they're just different jerseys.
Who they hire? Let's fire that guy.
If you guys go to
It's
a
May
sports game,
25th.
are you not wearing the jersey of or a sports gear of where you're going? Like if you're going to Cavs game, are you not wearing Cavs gear? If you're going to Browns game, are you not wearing Browns gear?
Yeah. No, that's
Isn't
what
that
you would wear.
given?
That's what you would wear, right?
Except the random person that shows up at a Browns game in I don't know, a Seahawks jersey when they're
Well, they're
playing
not
the
a Browns
Bengals.
fan, but I'm just
Yeah.
you go in a regular green shirt or something, just after
Like your
work.
nice button down going to the game
Yeah.
like it's the 40s
Yeah.
or 50s.
I don't get that. I think that, don't you think it's part of the experience? You're going in yeah, team.
I don't think I've worn
it.
actual
That's why they
jeans to
sell
a
it.
game.
Once you wear it
Oh, I lied.
there.
I lied. I was going to say I enjoy going to the games because I wear, not that I wear much anything else, but I go to a Cavs hoodie and sweatpants and it's great. I think on my birthday when we went to the Cavs game, me, AJ, his cousin Frank, or what would you call Frank? Your
Oh, my cousin. My sister's boyfriend.
sister's fiance, yeah, and my friend Dan, and I think that was the first time because we were going out after, from what I remember. I think we went out, and I wore jeans, and I think that was the first time I wore jeans to a Cavs game in 2 years.
Oh my gosh. That does not surprise me at all. If I'm in Cleveland, I'll be like, Ryan, come to tailgate.
Yeah, you
I'm
slob.
Up yet. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Come to
Yeah,
me.
it's just not you that I tell no. I'm not tailgating to.
I know, but
Oh, I know.
still, I'm like, God.
I'll go to. I was lucky enough to go to 4 Browns games this year, and a couple of them I went with Frank, my sister's boyfriend, and we tailgated. And he was like, "Oh, do you think Ryan's going to come out?" I said, "That flake? Are you kidding? No." He no freaking way. That guy's not even out of bed yet. I promise.
Yvette texts us. She's like, "Are you coming? We're all here raging." I'm like, "Man, oh."
You were out with us the night before, though.
I was out the night before. I told
Yeah.
you it was one or the other. I was like, it's either
Yeah,
going to be.
he couldn't rally the next day.
Oh, I just
But
can't.
I
I'm
already
just-
knew that he wasn't going to rally just because the way that you were talking about it.
You know, like on the NBA box scores when certain players don't play back to backs. That was me. It was like active, and then the next game, it's just I'm in the bottom. It says inactive, rest.
I found my limit over Thanksgiving because I had what did I do? Oh, it was Wednesday
you
night
went ham
before
for a while.
Thanksgiving. I drank. Yeah, Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, I drank. Thursday during Thanksgiving, I drank. Black Friday, it was my company Christmas party where I work. I drank there. And then Saturday, the following day, I went to the Cavs game with Ryan. I drank then too. I found out my limit.
Yeah. You
but
can do that in your 20s. I mean, come on. You guys have
Yeah,
to
but I'm
do
not in
that,
like
Ryan.
I'm not in my early 20s anymore.
But
I'm not in my early 20s. So
Me neither.
my body, it took my body 3 days to recover fully from that. I mean, it was not fun. It was totally not fun. I mean, it's fun in the moment, but afterwards, you know,
the holistic
It's
stuff,
never fun after.
the
no.
organic.
So, did you see Ed's comment?
No,
JB
but it's,
Yes, I
Maybe
appreciate
he
Ed for the
fire
consistency.
himself. Fire himself as a play caller.
I don't have
I might get behind fired. I don't.
But
I
JB
really wanted him fired last year.
I
Yeah,
did. I go like I don't want him fired by any stretch. I just sometimes I wish that we would. Honestly, though, it's been strange. Ever since we've had the injuries, our offense has looked a lot different. Like they have been doing a lot more, and I'm guessing that's just based on the personnel. But much like I think some people would like to see, you know, Watson take some stuff that Flacco did with his way to like sell play actions and stuff, and maybe add it to his game. I hope that like the Cavs offense stays like this when the other guys come back. It'll be a little harder because we have spacing issues with Allen and Mobley on the floor. Like I'd be like, somehow somebody's got to learn to shoot a three between both of you, like figure it out. But
cute little blondie Sam Merrill's shooting some threes on there.
I know, but we need one of our bigs because if
You know
see
who
when-
doesn't? That Dean Wade dude. He didn't shoot anything. He sucks.
Ryan loves Dean Wade. It's his favorite player.
Of course he does. Don't attack me, Ryan.
You know what though? He's played before. When you watch him on a fast break, he can actually run to the corner or run to the arc on the three.
I
and,
watched
like,
him.
hit it.
Like he didn't make anything.
No, he's not. I'm not saying
Fire him.
he's. You know, he's Dean Wade.
I'm just joking.
We gotta wait. We gotta wait till we get a better Dean Wade.
My thing is when it comes to coaching changes in any sport is all right, you want this guy fired, then who are you going to get? And
Right.
I've never been a fan of mid-season coaching fires, except in 2016 when the Cavs did it and then we won the finals. But I would say look, you wait to see who's available in those situations, see how the season plays out. I mean, there were guys available. Wasn't Nick Nurse available last year?
I don't know how
before
much
he
better
got-
we'd be with him. It would
I
have
like
to be
Nick
like
Nurse,
a
though.
yeah. Oh no, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying there's kind of like lateral moves. Like JB won 50 games. He's won 44. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. Like AJ, you know, you're right. Like if you do, who's gonna really
Who you gonna
take
hire?
this team? Yeah, to
Yeah.
what? So
Yeah, so when that's your next answer you can start giving people. When they start saying things like, all right, fire Stefanski, fire this guy, fire JB. Okay, fire him. Go ahead. Who are you going to get? Tell me
I
who's
say that,
replacing
I
him.
say that every day of my life.
Yeah, like who are you going to – I mean, listen, there are a lot of great coaching jobs out there right now in the NFL. And
Oh, yeah.
realistically, you could say Belichick's a great option. But Belichick's going to want – I'm shocked he's even interviewing with the Falcons, to be honest, because
no, the Falcons are
I think
interviewing
the
everybody.
Falcons is the best spot for
That's
him.
true.
like him
my
on the Falcons.
thing is though, Bill, listen, you're not with the Patriots anymore. The organization's clearly going in a different direction. Wouldn't you? The perfect place for him would have been Dallas, because at least there's like talent there. What's in Atlanta? What's I don't know where else he's
Get
interviewing.
along with him, and they'll have like a cockfight. That's what I heard.
Oh boy.
You know what I
All
mean?
right.
Because they're like, I mean, can you imagine Jerry Jones and Bill? I mean,
Well,
who's
now
gonna
They would
help
never
you
work
with
Dallas
together.
doesn't need a coach
No.
anyway,
Yeah.
as we know now.
Oh yes.
They're
Breaking
sta-
news
they
that
announced
hit
they're
right
staying with
before,
McCarthy next year, so
Yeah. What
I
do you guys
mean,
think about
Jerry
that?
Jones kept what's his name? He's doing TV now. The old coach.
Yeah,
him for like 8
Jason
years.
Garrett.
Jason Garrett was there winning like 6 to 8 games. He had like two high win total seasons, maybe. He was there for like 7, 8 years. McCarthy's
Right.
won 12 games, 3 straight years? And he'll let
And
Jerry
he'll
Jones.
playoff
Bill
games.
Belichick ain't gonna listen to
Like-
Jerry Jones. That'll
No.
never work. He'll be
I
like,
know,
what
that's what
the
can you
hell out of
imagine?
here.
I don't think Jim Harbaugh would
I would
either.
love to see it, though.
No, that's why they're not interviewing there. They're in Atlanta, where Arthur Blanks will be like, whatever you here, take all my shit. You want the Home Depot? That's for you now. That's yours.
Oh, he deserves it.
Jersey
He's
Rose,
Bill
whatever
Belichick.
one he
Don't
is.
you think he's a freaking bomb? I think he's awesome coach. I think anyone should be happy to have him. And I think if any coach could demand that type of treatment, it could be him. And he deserves to have that. I'd be like, I want this. I want the corner office. I want a Starbucks. I want bowling alley. I want
I
bowling
think
alley.
Bill. I think Bill. Like people, I think I've heard people say like, I can't believe he doesn't want to retire. It's like, listen, man, he's just the type of guy that he's going to coach till he dies.
He's
I
going
don't
to
see a
die on the
situation-
field.
Like he's not.
Oh,
I don't think he's a Nick. I don't think he's a Nick Saban type. Where honestly, I'm even a little surprised that Nick Saban decided to retire.
I know.
but I
Yeah,
get
I'm
it with the whole
shocked.
NIL stuff and with college.
3 for
and college
Dean
is
Wade.
changing. All
I
right.
was shocked.
Oh,
I
there
can't
you
believe
go.
they're boat racing the Milwaukee right now. I mean, we
They're-
tend to
they're
actually
nowhere.
play them.
Giannis isn't playing, but they still got Wade. They still got like their whole team. It shouldn't be this bad, but we're just.
Why isn't
kicking the
Giannis
crap out of
playing?
His
Just
shoulder sore or something.
Oh, load
Um,
management. I think they're not allowed.
No,
to
I
do
think
it.
he might have a real injury.
Uh-oh.
I think.
Did I do
I
something?
Even though we had the break Ed news, Ed is giving us the break Ed news. The Cowboys are keeping McCarthy, which we do. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Too surprised at that. I wish Jim Harbaugh. I hope he gets a job. Jim Harbaugh is so damn entertaining. I'd love to see him back in the NFL.
He's such
Yeah,
an
I think
oddball.
he
isn't he?
probably will. Don't you think he'll
I think
go
he will.
somewhere?
Oh, I mean, he's gonna win no matter where he's at. College, NFL.
All I do
Guy
is
can do it.
win no matter what. What time is it, you guys?
True.
8:58.
Oh gosh, it's already
Ooh, it's
8:58.
almost time to wrap up, ladies and gents. We were having time flies when we were having fun.
Oh my goodness, lots of
Oh
time.
my gosh. I am so thank you guys for joining. Here, let me make some notes. Sorry. I was literally talking to myself a couple times tonight. And if you guys noticed, I was rolling my eyes. It was at the commenter. Do you guys notice?
Yeah. Yes.
I was just it wasn't at anybody, and I felt bad, if you see me like this and I look at my face of disgust, it had nothing to do with anybody. You guys know. Everything I was saying. Woo, squirrel. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining. If this is the first time that you watched, I'm excited that you came, and I'm excited that you watched. You can watch all the episodes on YouTube. Lana's gonna let us know what's coming up. We have the Squad Pod coming up back. Are you guys back next Tuesday?
No, we are back on the 30th, and it may be me and you potentially if Lysandra's not back. And we have Ed in Columbus actually coming on the 30th with Sherry as well. So it'll be good. It'll be a good time.
Like a lot of fun. Ryan and AJ, I know you guys you guys have to come back because so Ryan and AJ, we did our first. I was gonna try to find clips from the first podcast that we did last year, my very, very first Bougie Sports podcast, where we did a Super Bowl inspired show. You guys remember we did a Super Bowl fantasy draft of pick any players, right? Any position players, and we drafted. It had a fantasy football. Right. So I'm glad that you guys are back, and Brian going to be back doing his WWE stuff and other things. And AJ, you can always come back anytime that you want.
I'm always around.
I got to the Royal Rumble's coming up. I got to figure it out because I want to do. I was thinking either the SmackDown, maybe the SmackDown before the Rumble, or maybe I'm trying to think if I want to do one. I'd like to do one on the Rumble during the Royal Rumble. However, that's also my friend's birthday, so I can't commit because I might have to go over his house and watch it, and I will not be in any shape or form to be on your stream.
Oh my gosh!
Don't do that.
No, I mean maybe. But yeah, I definitely want to do something here before the Royal Rumble.
You guys should stream some more games, like you two and AJ on here. Watch
Those
with
are
you
fun,
guys.
yeah.
Like, have games
Yeah,
and
we'll
stuff
get
where
some
you guys
tab
just
games
watch
going.
the games and just talk, and people can join in and watch the game with you guys. We could do the wave.
That's
Fred.
right.
I gave him the one.
And one.
Also, too, before I forget, I did say I would mention the Top Dog Tailgate is having their fundraiser again for City Dogs. I went last year. It's May the 4th in Berea. There'll be information coming out about it, but he wanted me to mention that too tonight to everyone. It was a good time last year. It'll be a good time this year.
Yeah, I went to like 2 years ago. Top Dog Tailgate. It kind of reminds. It's like in Mill Creek Park, not Mill Creek Park, Cleveland's version of a Mill Creek Park.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really good.
It's a good
fun
event.
time and a nice time to get together and meet other people and engage.
Off season. Yeah.
Engage. That's my new word. Engage.
Yep.
Sorry. Is that my number 24? Everything's engaged. Engage.
That's the word of the year.
Yeah.
What, engaged?
Yeah. I don't know why. I just said it like I overused it already, like in a sentence.
I was going to say, I'm way behind if that's the goal. Like, not even in sight. Sorry. Watch my wrestling and sit on this couch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's great. I love it. All personalities here at Bougie Sports, as you can tell. We're all spectrums around. Anything else that you guys want to say?
The Steelers lost.
Woo!
Yes, we can all say that. Steelers lost. That is so awesome.
Want to
Yay
make
for
sure that's
us.
not forgotten.
Yes.
Never forget. We will never forget.
We'll never forget.
Yeah. Thank you guys. I'm gonna go. Taco Bell.
Ooh.
No.
I tweeted about going to Taco Bell. Dang. A lot of people love their Taco Bell. I did
I like
just say
Taco
dang
Bell.
like that. Dang. Do you guys see that Joe Dirt? Remember Joe Dirt?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That movie is hilarious.
It's funny.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Classy Cleveland. Bye. Did I say bye yet? Bye.
Bye.